Fellow Nigerians, there are three things that I want us to discuss. Critical. Number one, the report that US forces working with Nigerian army took out the ISWAP deputy commander. How true is it? Who is lying? Is it the US President, Donald Trump, who posted it on his Truth Social handle? Is it the Nigerian President, Tinubu, and the APC? Or is it this young man called English Al-Haji? We'll look at the details of this and the implications it has for the 2027 elections, and definitely the implication it has for your life as a citizen of Nigeria. That's number one. Number two, recently Peter Obi gave an interview on Arise News, and certain questions came out. In fact, the ruling APC and supporters of Tinubu have gone haywire, accusing Peter Obi of stirring up strife, stirring up insecurity by calling for the sack of the INEC Chairman. Is this true? What are the details? What did Peter Obi really say? And why are the APC and Tinubu supporters taking it out of context? Again, what implication does this have on the 2027 election? Then number three, this is about the NDC, the Nigeria Democratic Congress. And of course, the Peter Obi, Kwankwaso support groups, the Obedient and the Kwankwasia. Recently, the NDC held an aspirant summit to train aspirants. But certain issues came up. In fact, you can say fight broke out. And then you see one of the lawyers that has been an activist lawyer coming to raise some critical questions. Very, very critical questions. Will the repeat of things that happen, will things that happened in 2023 happen again? These are his concerns. We'll look at these three issues because they have serious implications about the 2027 elections in Nigeria. And by extension, they have implications on the quality of lives that you and I will live 2027 and onwards. Let's start with the issue of the ISWAP West Africa, that's ISIS West Africa province, deputy commander that was reportedly taken out by a joint operation of the United States and the Nigerian army. Now, it was President Donald Trump of the United States that first posted about this, and the Nigerian army corroborated it. In fact, the Nigerian president and the APC, they have been singing high praises about that announcement by Donald Trump. Now, before we knew what was going on, before we could even decide, whether to join in the celebration or not, this young man called English Al-Haji inserted himself into the scene. He came and opened our eyes or called our attention to certain information that we probably have forgotten. And he claimed that the same ISWAP deputy commander that the US president claimed was taken out in this joint operation of the US Army and the Nigerian Army just yesterday or 2 days ago, that same ISWAP deputy commander was reportedly taken out by the Nigerian Army in 2024. Now, who is lying? Somebody obviously is lying. It's either Nigerian Army are lying that they took out the deputy commander of ISWAP in 2024, or Donald Trump is lying that they just took that deputy commander out 2 days ago, or English Al-Haji is lying. Who is lying? English Al-Haji gave details. He gave details. And you know, that young man has been known to be spot on in his expose. But then, can we say that Tinubu or the Nigerian army are lying? Or can we say that the US president lied in his post on Truth Social? Don't forget that the US has been frustrated by Iran in the Straits of Hormuz. They went in, guns are blazing, they fired all the shots, and they thought they had decimated Iran, they had obliterated Iran. But somehow, Iran is still standing and posing significant threats. So right now, they are saying that Operation Epic Fury is ended, is over. Their naval chiefs, their army chiefs are saying that Operation Epic Fury is draining the American economy. Somehow, I perceive they are forced to run or turn back with their tails between their legs and their heads bowed in shame. And so they need something that they could spin as a win. If that is the case, could that be why they are now reporting that the deputy commander of ISWAP, they have taken him out just to present something as a win to the American public? Now, in all of this, there are no definite answers anywhere. But here is what gets me as a Nigerian, worried. Hear it and tell me if it doesn't get you worried. In recent days, we are seeing this friendliness between Donald Trump and Tinubu. I am concerned. When Donald Trump, or if Donald Trump has his way with Tinubu, and Tinubu continues to give him everything he wants. He wanted access to northern Nigeria for whatever hidden agenda that the US has. Tinubu gave them that access. So right now we have American boots on Nigerian soil. Now he needs a win, something to spin, to save face from the devastation to the reputation of the US Army in the Middle East. And they have come to Tinubu somehow. He's obliging them. So if indeed the Nigerian Army took out the ISWAP deputy commander in 2024, it means that they are doing Donald Trump a favor this time around by spinning it again in cooperation. When African leaders, not just Tinubu now, give Western leaders what they want, usually those Western leaders help such African leaders to stay in power. So I am concerned that I hope it is not that Tinubu is giving Donald Trump what he wants so that when the rigging and the manipulation of 2027 starts, Donald Trump will turn the other eye. I hope so. In fact, I hope that Donald Trump will not even now help to rig Tinubu back into office because Tinubu is playing his card right. Tinubu is in his good book. I hope not. This is why I am concerned about that particular issue. On the issue of the interview of Peter Obi, what Peter Obi said was actually very, very simple. That the INEC chairman was carrying out the orders of Tinubu. Now, supporters of APC and Tinubu are saying he should provide proof. He can't just be making such statements without evidence. The president is a Yoruba man. The Yorubas have an adage. The owl hooted last night, the morning the child died. Who killed the child? Ajekilano, Omokularo, Talupomo. Some things you cannot provide evidence for, but they are clear as day. They are right before your eyes. But what we must focus on, and this is my advice to Peter Obi, and everybody pushing this agenda of, or narrative of, oh, the INEC chairman is biased. Calling for the INEC chairman to resign is a very stupid strategy. Very, very stupid strategy for two reasons. One, what gives you the assurance that the INEC chairman will resign for you to make you happy? What gives you that assurance? Now, two, even if the INEC chairman resigns, who is going to appoint the next INEC chairman? And what is the guarantee that that INEC chairman will not be more cunning, show you on the surface that, oh, I am neutral, but underground is obeying and carrying out the same Tinubu order you are complaining about today? Any of these narratives pushing, oh, the INEC chairman is biased, is not only wrong, it is stupid. There is a better way. We must try to understand how exactly will Tinubu or the APC or INEC, how will they rig the 2027 election? Because here's the question. Even though many people are convinced, many Nigerians are convinced, and this is dangerous, because the more we force this narrative into the hearts of Nigerians that Tinubu has already rigged the 2027 elections, oh, INEC is compromised, security agencies are compromised, the judiciary is compromised, the more we push this narrative to neutral Nigerians, the more scared and afraid they will be, and the result will be that they will not come out for the elections. And that's why I was not particularly happy when I heard Aisha Yusufu saying that 2027 election will be war. Those kind of rhetorics are counterproductive. It doesn't inspire Nigerians to come out. It creates fear in their hearts. So when we push this narrative, what do we think happens in the hearts and minds of citizens? We are giving Tinubu the voter apathy that he needs. And that is one of the strategy, the ways that the 2027 election may be rigged. That is one of the ways. Soft rigging, not brute force rigging. There is brute force rigging. There is strategic, tactical rigging. We must put structures in place to tackle such rigging. What structures can we put in place to make sure that even if the INEC chairman wants to be biased, his hands will be tied such that he cannot rig? Those are the things we should be thinking about. Remember, and don't forget, this kind of things also happened to Tinubu in 2023 here, when forces in the villa ganged up against him in support of Lawan. The APC chairman, Abdullahi Sule, ganged up against him in support of Lawan. Some forces in the presidency too. What did Tinubu do? He studied how these people planned to rig him out, and he put measures in place to counter them. This was what he did too against PDP, when PDP thought they were the alpha and omega of election rigging. We can't continue on this path, casting doubt and aspersion on the integrity of INEC, rightly or wrongly, and think that it will serve the opposition well. It will not. What we need to do is structures, measures. Thank God we have votewatch.pro and the PU Marshal. This is one beautiful solution that can tie the hands of INEC, tie the hands of police, tie the hands of the judiciary. We should be rallying around this solution instead of just raising alarms that will turn back and hurt us by serving voter apathy to Tinubu. Now, number 3. What happened at the Nigeria Democratic Congress Aspirant Summit? You saw this lawyer, forgotten his name, coming out to rant and complain that a certain aspirant who was sponsored by Emeka Ihedioha to hijack the structures of ADC in support of Atiku while they were back in ADC, the structure of ADC in Imo State, that aspirant has found his way into the Nigeria Democratic Congress. And that aspirant is now doling out money. In fact, he has contributed 10 million naira. Now we have a problem. First problem is the high cost of nomination forms. 60 million naira. How many Nigerians have 60 million naira? And I'm talking about Nigerians with integrity. Nigerians that work hard for their money. How many of them? Many of them will be disenfranchised now because of your high cost of nomination form. But that's not even the problem. The bigger problem here is this. In 2023, many politicians, after they lost their primaries in their various political parties, decamped and defected into the Labour Party. And they rode on the popularity of Peter Obi. They did that. At the end of the day, they won elections. But what happened? Before you knew it, they decamped and defected back to wherever they were coming from. Majorly the APC. With what happened at that NDC Aspirant Summit, do you see a repeat of 2023 again in 2027? Do you see a repeat of what happened in Labour Party again happening in the NDC? I see it. So what is the cure? Because talking about solution without talking about problems without profiling solution is madness. What is the solution to this? NDC, please. It's not possible again for you to bring down the price of your nomination form. If it is, please bring it down. If not, then you must put the second measure in place. All of those aspirants, okay, maybe when you do your screening of those aspirants, you see what they said, what they have rumored that Tinubu has done to the INEC Chairman is what you must do to all of those aspirants. Now, what is it that rumors have that Tinubu has done to the INEC Chairman, Professor Amukwiton? Rumors have it, and it is most likely true because it is a modus operandi of many leaders in the past. Rumors have it that Tinubu has a resignation letter signed by Amukwiton ready somewhere, such that if he does not do his bidding, that if he does not do the bidding of APC and Tinubu, then he will just present the resignation letter of Amukwiton and escort him out of INEC. Those of you screaming, oh, Amukwiton must resign. There is a contingency plan for Amukwiton ready for Tinubu to implement. There is a first backup, there is a second backup for Amukwiton if he does not dance to the tune of Tinubu and the APC. Now, you can call these rumors, but there is always no smoke without fire. Always no smoke without fire. So what should you do to these aspirants to prevent them from returning or defecting back to wherever party they are coming from after they win on the popularity of the OK ticket? You must now get them to sign a resignation letter, because there are two ways you can cease being a member of the National Assembly. It's either by death or by resignation or by jumping political parties when there is no division in such parties and your party and that seat is declared vacant. So all of these aspirants that want to go into state houses of assembly, that want to go into the Senate, that want to go into the House of Rep, all of those aspirants on the platform of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, they must all be made to sign a resignation letter, an undated one, a resignation letter that is not dated, so that when they start misbehaving, we can present such letters to the National Assembly. That's the only thing that we can use to hold them for now, so that only serious candidates that mean well for the people will come forward. But going forward, we must engage in political party reforms where nomination forms are free or at least affordable to the person earning minimum wage. Minimum wage in Nigeria now is how much? 17,000 per month. So in 1 year is what? 800,000 naira. So no nomination form should cost more than half of that, which is 400,000. In fact, you can round it off and make it 500,000. From presidential ticket down to ward councillor ticket, none of them should cost more than 500,000 naira. This is how it is in America. This is how it is in Europe. This is how it is everywhere. You cannot disenfranchise well-meaning Nigerians like me from participating in elections because I don't have deep pockets. Do you know how long it took me to save 60 million naira? My 60 million naira now that I'm keeping somewhere in treasury bills like VDM to gather interest so that I can use it to be managing my life. You want me to take that money and come and buy form, and then I'm not counting money that I will give to so-called delegates. You call them direct primaries, but they are still implementing some form of delegates according to what we have seen in APC. We have still implemented some kind of delegate. So you want me to now begin to look for money for those ones? That will discourage me from participating. So until we demonetize and remove all these transactional politics from our political parties, credible Nigerians will not be encouraged to participate. So this is an advice for you. But all Nigerians, we must know this. Peter Obi getting ticket is the beginning of the journey. The real work is ensuring that 2027 elections is free and fair. That's where the real work is. Thank God we have Vote Watch and the PU Marshal. Don't joke with it. Don't joke with it. If you have not volunteered or you have not checked out the website, the link is in the description. Check it out. Register as a volunteer and then give your own suggestions on how we can stop rigging in 2027. Thank you very much for being a part of this video. See you in the next one.